Everyone always wants to know how I grow these things so big, even though it's not like crazy big. I've seen bigger, but indoor grow, they only get so big usually. And I don't think it's necessarily my biggest plant, but all the branches are good sizes. Everything is good. As they say, she thick. Number one, it's going to be your seeds. You want good genes, good genetics. I use seed banks like North Atlantic Seed Co. where I get Ethos. I use Fast Buds. I use Seed Supreme. All these places have good quality seeds. I also have discounts for all this stuff also, but that's not part of this. Number two, it's going to be your lighting. I have multiple size lights. I have 800 watt Fexita. I got a 200 watt Fexita, 130 watt, 200 watt. I have a 200 watt SF2000 from Spider Farmer. And then in the 4x8, I have a 1200 watt, 12 bar LED light also. But realistically, you want around 200 watts per plant. That's what I like to have and what I go by. Actually, let's go by par or lux. This is where it comes in handy to have a lux meter or a par meter. You put this to your light or to the top of your plant underneath your light, and it tells you how much light is getting to the canopy and to the top of your plant. That way you can adjust the light accordingly. Too little light or too much light both have negative effects on the plant's growth. Let's go for item number three. I'm not going to, this isn't in particular order anymore. But let's say number three is environment. When these plants are in the seedling stage, they like 75, 80% humidity. They like a lot of humidity. A humidity dome on the plants helps them grow faster in high humidity. Even in veg, I still have them at 60% humidity. Having the plants in the right humidity help the plants also grow faster and bigger. Number four, nutrients. For all my soil grows, I use King Solomon, and this stuff has like amino acids in it that help your stems and plants grow big. Even with current culture H2O, I have had great results with it. Big old fat stems generally. I don't think I ever grow any plant, even my autos are thicker than an inch. Easily. Let's say number five is pHing your water or using good water. I use RO water, and one of the good things about RO water is that it comes like it's filtered. So it has none of those extra minerals in there. You know exactly what's in the water. So say if you're using tap water, you put that tap water in a 5-gallon bucket. It has copper, it has different things in it at different amounts that you don't necessarily know. And then you're adding nutrients on top of that. So those nutrients can all kind of build up with each other. So if you're putting copper in there and say your nutrients have copper, you're adding copper on top of copper, if that makes sense. But that can be adjusted by feeding less or finding out what nutrients you have too much of or too little of. Let's say number six, the finger over here, 5 and a 6, auto pots or how you're watering. If you're underwatering your plant or overwatering, it's the same as the light. Neither is good for the plant. You want that happy in between, that happy place. You want to be right in that happy place. And auto pots do that. It feeds your plant through this tray and it fills up, but it allows the plant to drink all the fluid in there, gives it a little bit of dry time before it fills back up with water. But it keeps your plant perfectly watered. You don't have to worry about underwatering, overwatering, and the top of your soil stays dry. That way there's no bugs in it. But there are dripper systems, there's different kinds of self-watering systems. Anything that is going to be consistent in keeping your plant fed, if it wants food, the food is there. Your plants, in my opinion, are going to grow big. It's like hydro. If all the nutrients and water, everything it needs is right there for the taking, and it just needs it anytime it takes it, it's going to get bigger. Let's go number 7, training and how you train your plants. You got high stress training and low stress training. Topping, you're making more colas, so the plant kind of gets bigger. You make bigger branches. LS training, the low stress training, you're going to spread that plant all the way out. Giving the plant enough light on all of its sections makes the plant also grow bigger. Because think of those leaves as solar panels. If more light is getting to those solar panels, you're obviously going to get more power. But back it up a little bit, talk about the water again. You want to make sure your plants are in the right pH, the soil and what you're feeding them. For soil, I like to have around 6.5 pH. Cocoa and hydro is around 6.0. And it just helps your plants grow just a little bit better. It does make a little bit of a difference, especially when it comes to it potentially locking out some nutrients, which is what the wrong pH does. It starts making lockouts. The whole entire grow, I'm also feeding some mycorrhizal. This stuff is great for the roots. And it like forms a relationship with the roots and gives the roots what they need, and like the back and forth relationship. Either way, your roots and plant will love this stuff. It helps them grow bigger. I also use Photosynthesis Plus, and this is going to give your soil all the little microbes in there that make your plant also happy. It enhances photosynthesis, which, like the solar panels, but the more you do that, the better it's going to be. Utilizes the sun's energy to transport minerals and carbon to the plants at a much improved rate, which means it's going to grow bigger, promotes plant vigor. Vigor is how fast and how much it wants to grow. I don't know what number we're on anymore, but when I'm mixing up my soil, when I'm getting ready to transplant into that soil, I already mixed that mycorrhizal into the soil. And anytime I'm transplanting, I'm sprinkling it into the hole for the roots. One thing you can also do when your plants are small, like the seedling stage, if you have a fan like blowing them around a little bit, it makes your stems a little bit stronger and you get a little bigger plant also. And then along with the humidity and stuff that I was talking about earlier, it also helps to have, well, the fan in here is sucking and moving air. So air circulation is always beneficial. For one, it's going to prevent mold and deter a little bit of pests, but it just helps your plants. The stronger you make your plants, the bigger they're going to be. When I'm feeding, I'm making sure to try not to overfeed or underfeed. I did overfeed this time. That is my big thing, is overfeeding. But I'm trying to tone it back. Once again, if you get it right in that perfect limit, you're golden. Everything about this plant, or plants in general, they like to be in that sweet spot. Not too little, not too much of anything. They want to just be in that sweet spot. You do these things and you're pretty much guaranteed a good sized plant indoors. But overall with lighting, I do like to have 200 watts per plant. This tent is a 5x5 and I have 800 watts in here. If I had a 4x4, I would want 800 watts or around there anyway. Over here, I have the 1200 watt light. It has basically 600 watts on each side and the plants still grow really good.